There is one parenting tip that I give out more than any other. For context, I'm a dad. I've got 3 kids. My daughter is now 22. My older son is 21. My younger son is 9. And the one tip I constantly give out to new parents, old parents, any parents or grandparents for that matter, is this. I ask people to slow down once per month and capture the moments, the stories, the funny little things, the things that happen in life, in your family, in your children's lives, in your life, and capture those moments in a journal format so that you can one day pass those down to your children. I started this process when my daughter Grace, again, who's now 22 years old, was just 1 year old, and my son Knox was in the womb when I started. Somehow I had the insight to realize that life is fleeting and the moments would pass fast. I know that it's been said that the days pass slowly and the years go fast. And somehow that was in my head long ago, and I realized I needed to do something to just capture the moments, the memories, the lessons, things that I would want to one day pass down to my children. And so what I did, I made a commitment to once per month just to slow down and write one story, one little thing that was happening in our lives, and document and save that for my kids. At first, it was all text-based. I would just literally be writing the stories or the funny things that my children would say, or sometimes it's just the way, the magic that I felt as a dad, being their dad, and writing down how great I felt and how much I loved them. Eventually, I figured I could add photos to my entries and annotate the entries with photos. It gave them even more texture and richness. And then later on, as technology improved, I could even add videos and audio files into my entries. So now the entries I make are quite rich and varied. I've made entries about travels we've taken, trips, adventures, high points, low points, graduations, special moments, birthdays, you name it, I've written about it. And sometimes it's the funny little thing that your kid says and you think, oh, I'm gonna remember that forever. And then what happens is a month or two later, you're scratching your head thinking, what was it that he said that I just can't even remember right now? Well, if you'll slow down every once in a while, write that little thing down in a journal, you will in fact remember it forever, and then it's something you can pass on to your children. And think about this. If you started this when your child was born and you wrote just one entry per month and you kept it up every month until they were 18, that'd be over 200 entries that you've written. So it's 200 stories of your life, their lives, the highs, the lows, the big and the little moments that you've saved to pass on to your children. So you'll hear me say pass on to your children. It was always my intent to gift these journals to my children at their high school graduation. And so I've done that twice now, as I've had 2 kids that have gone on and graduated college. And the thought behind it was it's 18 years of your life through my eyes. So it's a beautiful concept. But even if you didn't start when your child was at birth or at 1 or 2 years old, and let's say your kid is now 10 or 15 years old, just imagine if you had written just 10 stories, 10 messages of your love, 10 highlight stories of their life, and you had that to pass on to your children, and something happened to you. I look at this as a stopgap. We're all going to die at some point or another, and I've always believed that at my death, I could pass on $20 million in cash or the stories of their life, and the stories of their life are going to be so much more valuable than the money ever would be. So let's get into the mechanics of how this works for me. Like, I use a product called Day One. I've found it to be the best digital journal on the market. It's a fairly inexpensive annual plan that you can do for their premium version. I want to say it's $30, $35 a year for their premium version. And premium includes, I think, up to 30 photos per entry. You can do video, audio files. You can even have shared journal entries so that you, a spouse, grandparents, whatever, all could journal into one account. What I love about the shared journals is that's also, if you want to one day give it to your children, you can add your children into that shared journal very easily, and then they have access to everything that you've written. I've created a simple template in day one for my entries to my children that start with the title of the entry and then your age and my age, so that when my kids read it later, they can see in context to how old they were, how old I was at any one of the given entries. You can use tags for your entries to easily search for certain things, birthdays, travel, adventure, whatever tags you'd want to use. It's super easy to use. There's also location tracking features so that you can kind of look up by location. Like if I wanted to say, hey, what entries did I write when I was in Costa Rica? I could easily go pull that up in the app. And as previously mentioned, I can include plenty of photos, videos, even audio files. And I say audio files kind of especially because when we're gone, one of the things that will be so valuable to our children is just the sound of our voice. And so on occasion, I'm not great about it, but on occasion I will record some audio entries just to leave for my children as well. So if this resonates with you at all, please get started today. Whether it's day one or some other product you choose to use, just choose your method, get started, make your first entry, and then get in the habit, again, once per month, just ever so often, to where you continuously stick with it, and it's something that you will always treasure and your children will treasure for the rest of their lives. I'm Ken Wemberly, here to bring you a little bit of parenting wisdom, advice, and little few things that I've learned in my 54 plus years now. So if this was valuable, hit the subscribe button, join us for more content, and I hope to see you around soon. Thanks so much.